Well, now, Mark, you have really hit a subject that's near and dear to my heart because I am a Transylvania County native. I grew up here. I went to school in Rosman, graduated from Rosman, moved back here. I love my county. I love my community, and I have no desire to be anywhere else. And so, broadband in Transylvania County is something that I have been concerned with and involved with since the very first dial up came to Transylvania County in 1996. I actually had dial up internet before that. I dialed a company in Seattle, Washington called Eskimo North for my internet bandwidth as far back as 1992. And a lot of people don't even realize there was internet in 92, but there was. There wasn't web. There was no World Wide Web when I first did dial up internet. Uh, but it has been a real uphill battle, and primarily because of geographic factors. The geography of Transylvania County is very rural, very sparsely populated, and very rugged terrain in portions. The rugged terrain makes it difficult to run fiber. It makes it difficult for wireless internet service providers to get good comprehensive service. I mean, when the local UHF TV station that's blowing out 4.8 megawatts of power, when I can't receive that station and its transmitter's 18 miles from me by air, when I cannot receive that signal at my house because of terrain, forget low power Wi-Fi. It just ain't happening. And that's one of the biggest challenges here. One of the other challenges is related to geography, and that's because Transylvania County, being a census designated micropolis or micropolitan area, the Brevard Transylvania County micropolitan area, also is a natural rural monopoly for telecommunications infrastructures. For a number of years, the only way you got any kind of telecommunications was through one company. And while that one company does a really good job, given the circumstances that they have, I have a number of family members either work for or have worked for that company. It's just one company, and it is a very challenging area in which to provide service. But there's opportunity. Wireless services, as well as satellite services, provide an opportunity for competition in this very otherwise non competitive market. The sparse population also has a different effect, and that's an economic effect. Fiber is expensive to put in the ground. It's very expensive to put in the ground. A few miles of fiber will run a few $1,000,000. And then there's maintenance issues and maintenance costs and the various things that can go wrong. You could have a local hunter decide that he wants to do target practice on your fiber cable, and that happens, unfortunately. And so, a 22 bullet will do a number on a 96 strand fiber cable. But beyond that, there's very few customers per that mile. And so commercial entities have to get a return on investment. There's got to be a return on investment for that cable mileage. Back years ago, to use an analogy of electricity and electric power, years ago, the federal government made it a program in the federal government to electrify the rural communities of the United States. And so thus the Rural Electrification Administration, REA, was founded and formed. And the fact that I have power here at PARI right now is in no small part due to REA. We are served by one of the local electric cooperatives that received a great deal of REA capital expenditure money and capital funding to build the infrastructure. Very few people, very expensive plant, a lot of overhead that had to be covered, and the federal government chose to cover electrification. With COVID, with virtual learning, internet service is becoming less of a luxury and more of a necessity, more of a utility. And I believe it needs to be treated that way. I believe it needs to be treated as a utility, an essential for our students in this county. Otherwise, you'll end up with the haves and have-nots as part of a digital divide, where urban areas, they get great bandwidth. You get 5G. Everybody's got cell coverage. Everybody's got good cell coverage. There again, 3G and 4G is not the answer here either. The terrain's too rugged. There are way too many spots. Even in some of the flat ground, it's amazing how many dead spots for cell service there still are in Transylvania County. And while I don't know the solution to the issue necessarily, I do know the problem. I experience it every day.